Yep.
All right, we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal, and I'm joined by the fine people of Plaga Zombie American Invasion. We have a lot of people here. Let me try to run through. We have Walter Rivero. I forgot Cobra, but it's a
Cobra. Yeah.
We have Amber Moses.
Hi.
Hello. Garry, I should have asked how to pronounce his last name. Medeiros.
Medeiros, yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. Matthew Hill, who got a haircut since the film.
There he is.
Libby Davenport.
Libby, where are you?
I'm here.
On mine is he's right in the middle. And Benjamin Tolosa, Manny here.
Manny's here.
Yay.
And Jeremy the redneck.
Am I missing? Did I miss somebody?
Jeremy.
Jeremy. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Sorry.
He's used to it.
I was just trying to write everyone's name down. And
Fine.
It's the redneck.
Yeah. And not just because you guys are here, but I love Plaga Zombie. This is very, very fun movie, right up my alley.
Thank you very much.
Crazy. It's very visual, and it's really just a good time. And I hope people check it out.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate that very much.
So off the bat, for people not aware yet, Garry, we'll start with you. Can you give people an idea of what Plaga Zombie American Invasion is?
Well, it's actually spawned from an Argentinian trilogy that's the same name, Plaga Zombie. And I was friends with the filmmakers, and we were joking around one day. And I think we were talking about when Ash versus Evil Dead was coming out. And I made a joke as, and well, they're bringing back Ash. You guys have to bring back Plaga Zombie, and I can do the reboot, and that's how it started. It started off as a joke, and they were like, you know what, that would be kind of cool if you didn't. And I was like, wait a minute, that would be kind of cool. So that's how it started.
Yeah. Jeremy, what's your involvement in Plaga Zombie?
Well, I've always been like a fan of like B-rated movies. So I was like, hey, they're filming a movie here. So why don't you go down and join on board? And I was like, oh my God, I love this shit.
He showed up as a zombie, and then he ended up being part of the family and just started helping out.
And next thing I know, I was like, oh my God. All right, what do you need help with? Well, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this, we'll do that. Next thing I know, I'm like investing so much time and effort and energy into making this movie happen because I believed in it and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I love these guys. And
yeah, we love you too.
He was also my double on one of the scenes, so he was like,
nice,
the extra mile all the time. He's amazing. So
he was doing the stunt doubling for you.
Yeah, no, in one of the scenes it was like a short scene, and I had like almost 2.5 hours driving, so Garry and Jeremy were kind enough to shoot that scene so I don't have to go all the way back and forth. So thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
If you can figure out what scene that is, then we'll give you a prize.
There you go. Look for the missing tattoo.
Let them figure it out. It's awesome.
Matt, how did you get involved and became the lead of the movie?
Well, Garry came up to me one day and said, okay, I just got these movies from Argentina. You got to watch them. And we watched them, and they were incredible. I mean, they were unique. I've never seen anything like them. He goes, I would love to do a version of this. And I'm like, do it. Do it. And he did. He ran with the ball, and that's how I got involved.
Garry, what was the thought like to have Matt as the lead? Because I think he's perfect.
Well, yeah. Well, Matt, he actually, my first feature, which I did back in 2007, was called The Terror Factor. It was a slasher film, which Matt ended up playing the slasher in the movie, which was Warren Wilcox. And we've been friends for years, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make you a has-been wrestler. I think you'd be perfect for the part of Matt.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a big wrestling fan. For people who don't know, I do Without Your Head on Thursdays and In Your Head Wrestling podcast on Tuesdays. So
Yeah.
zombies, craziness, wrestling, it's all working for me. By the way, speaking of wrestling, I do think Walter looks kind of like Pac from AEW, if you know.
Shorter version, probably.
He's a pretty short guy, but yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm cool.
Yeah. He doesn't have he probably does have action figures, but he doesn't have a cool doll with the patch.
Oh, my dolls.
Oh,
Very, very Snake Plissken-esque, I think.
Yeah, that was what I was going for.
Yeah. So how did you get involved, Walter? Were you do you know everybody, before the movie?
I was involved in the original Plaga Zombie Part 2 when I was in my 20s in Argentina, because I used to visit Argentina a lot for my family. And I was in like maybe 2 scenes in that Plaga Zombie Mutant Zone, which they call it. And I became very friendly with the original guys that made the movies, and they did other movies that I was involved with. One was called Demonium. So Pablo Pares, which is Bill Johnson, was like, dude, they're making a Plaga Zombie in your region. I'm like, what? Who would do that? And he's like, well, get in touch with Garry and the people and the production and see what you can do. Maybe you could be like a liaison since you've been in the original one. Maybe you could give them some pointers on how, because this is not your typical zombie film. They're not the Walking Dead zombies. We had to explain to people like, this isn't normal. Like what we're doing is a different type of zombie. So I was like brought on board to be like a liaison. Then I was talking to Garry, we hit it off, and he's like, dude, you want to be in the movie? I'm like, yeah. As what? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, and he was able to like let me become my own character, which was a mix between Mad Max, the guy from Fist from the North Star, and Snake Plissken. And then everything from there just developed into me becoming a zombie in certain scenes and like helping produce it, getting this guy to do this, and it just became like a big roller coaster. And here we are having an interview with you guys. So yeah, it's crazy. It's like a family, 7 years, you know these people like, and we almost gave up, Garry, you want to tell that story? Like how we almost like, we're like, you know what, fuck it. This is too much.
We shot literally, it was 48 hours and not sleeping. And it was actually right after that, the junkyard scene, it was literally like 100 degrees out. We were out there for hours. And I think I was like, almost in half asleep. And I ended up being one of my favorite scenes in the movie, which is funny. But that day I just, I was like, there's no way. It just, the task of getting this thing done, it was very ambitious. So I was just overwhelmed. And, Walter had to sit me down and be like, hey, listen, if we can't do everything we wanted to do, let's change the script. Let's what can we do? So we kind of had to change some things around. We had a lot more in the movie that was supposed to be in that didn't make it. But we had to adapt and change things where we needed to change things. And
we absolutely we're definitely a family. You know what I mean? Because we hate each other one minute, we love each other the next minute. It's like, I hate you. I can't stand you. You're my brother. Love you. It's like, it's amazing. Like how much we just
bond.
We bond like brothers. It's pretty cool.
And
I was going to say, Amber,
and we have a sister too. Yes, we have a sister.
Exactly. Amber. Yes. Yeah. Amber, how did you get involved in the movie?
I think it was a Craigslist thing for the part of Glenda that I ended up getting the part, but I went to audition for it and I didn't think much of it. I didn't know how well I did, and then I got the email of yeah, we want you to be in it. And I'm like, really? And that was pretty exciting because it was one of the first movies that I had done. So
yeah, when she came in too, she had a really cool 70s style to her, look to her that we really liked. So that's how she got the part.
And I think
she
Walter's
did fabulous.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
right.
she wants to be part of the movie.
Scott's here.
Scott's in? Okay, we got another guy. The other guy.
Whoa. While he's connecting here, we'll ask Ben, how did you get involved? How did you get the role of Manny?
Manny. I think I was looking at one of the Facebook groups about acting, and I think it was like the New England acting group or something like that. And I used to check that group all the time for new gigs. And Plaga Zombie, I said, well, that sounds cool. So I kind of reply like, you send your resume to whatever you can get a role on. And so yeah, then I got the audition. And what I didn't know at the time is like the movie came from an Argentine trilogy, and I have no idea. So I didn't audition because of that reason. I just auditioned because I thought it was a cool project, and I happen to have a background in Argentina because I grew up in Argentina and moved to the US 18 years ago, but I had no idea at the time. So no, and then I went over, and I was blessed enough that Garry was casting me, and I will be forever grateful to Garry for choosing me, because it was kind of the best acting honor of my life. So I'm very grateful. So
it's a small world, because the funny thing is, unbeknownst to any of us, not only was Ben, originally from Argentina, but his best friend was like best friends with one of the original director's sister. Like there was a connection. Like what are the odds of that happening?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Her name is Laura Arrojo, and she was a connection. We had no idea after we started shooting the movie. He said, "Hey, are you involved with Plaga Zombie, the movie I'm making this?" Yeah. Oh, I know Pablo, and so. But we have no idea until after we started shooting the movie. So,
Libby, what's your involvement in Plaga Zombie?
Well, I came in a couple of years after they had started. My son was involved, Scott Lariviere, and I just went down, and next thing you know, I'm a zombie, and I'm pretty famous for having my legs ripped off by Matt.
Rip her apart.
So that's my claim to fame.
Yeah. What was the experience like? Was it a fun time?
It was fun, and it was pretty brutal on my body.
Well, hopefully you're okay now. Your legs
I am okay. So. I am okay. These guys, they're just wonderful guys. It's like I'm almost like their mother now. We had a great time, and I'm really happy I got involved.
And Scott, how did you get involved in the movie? Did you know Garry or anyone involved?
I did not. I did recruit Libby a couple of years into the project, but originally it was posted on Facebook in our area. I'm from New Bedford. I was born and raised in New Bedford. I live in Fairhaven now. So it was on Facebook. So they had like 5 or 6 of the speaking roles were posted, and you could come audition for that. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. This is like happening in my town. I'm gonna go try out and be in a movie. So I brought a couple friends, and we went down to audition for speaking roles, and I was not cast for any of those speaking roles, but I stuck with it. And when they had another posting, come be in the opening, dress any way you want, come down, and we're going to make you a zombie and be involved in this local movie. So even though I wasn't cast, I went down and I started, and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And I just stuck with the project and kind of got into the crew and ended up seeing it through right to the end.
Santa Claus zombie.
Yeah, and I have to say too, Scott, same thing like Jeremy, both of them, they kind of showed up as zombies, and they just became, they like, they started picking things up, and like, what do you need this? They saw that we needed help, and they stepped up to the plate. And, thank God they did, all of them. Everyone here, like, we wouldn't have gotten this film done without any of these guys. So, it's amazing.
Thanks to Scott, because he was like, hey, come down, you be a zombie, it'll be fun, it's a good time. I'm like, I don't know anything about acting, but it sounds like a good time, so come on down. Okay.
I also want everyone to know December 4th, you can see Plaga Zombie. It's in New Bedford. And you can go to plagazombie.com to find out. I hope to be there. I'm on the Cape, so it's not too far from me.
Yeah, yes, come. We got popcorn and we got soda, and it's like thanks to Libby and her church, we're able to actually do this. So not only is she the zombie that gets ripped in half by Matt, she's also
right.
You
get to watch the movie in the actual theater
that it was filmed.
They blow up in the movie, so
Right, yeah,
that's pretty wild.
That the gay zombie does this little twirl, which became a fan favorite. I don't know why, but it was fun. We did a lot of like a lot of stuff. Like we built sets in a warehouse, like Gary and Matt and Jeremy and Scott. They were painting. Like if you see Matt Nash's and Manny's rooms, it's the same spot, but painted a different color inside of a warehouse. So we built sets on a small budget. Like I'm talking about like a budget where you just be like, nah, there's no way these guys could do that. So.
Well, I do think all like the love that went into the movie, which you all apparently really love the movie, really comes true because it's very fun to watch and there's so much going on. And I realize it was probably a low budget movie, but there's so much visual. How long did it take to do all like the effects? I would assume that had to take a long time.
Gary?
12 years.
Gary, take it away, buddy.
Yeah. Visual effects.
Still working on it.
Yeah, I'm almost done. I just got a couple more scenes to go. I was doing most of it by myself, and it was an overwhelming task because a lot of things too. When you say visual effects in the movie, it's not just UFOs and zombies, aliens popping out of zombies, and all that fun stuff. It's also like something as tedious as a zombie makeup is rubbing off and you have to go in and touch up all the colors because there's a skin showing on someone's arm or so it's a very tedious task. And then I was lucky that we got help from this guy from Argentina, and his name is
Matias Lojo.
Matias, how you say his last name?
Matias Lojo.
Who is an awesome effects guy. He came in, and thank God he did, because he helped me finish the rest of the visual effects. And as for the practical effects, that Scott was involved. He never did effects before, but he went on YouTube, looked at tutorials, and whipping up body parts left and right. So
I actually like how Amber's transformation went. So it's amazing, like the beginning. And you did that with the visual effects, right, Gary? Like when she shows up and she goes, ah.
Yeah. Well, no, that was practical, but I did touch it up with some visual effects. Yeah. There was practical effects on that too.
What was that scene like for you to shoot, Amber?
It was. It's funny because it's a lot of hurry up and wait while you're like waiting for the sound to adjust and everything like that, and then like kind of minimal like chunks of shooting, and then as far as like the part with the makeup, that was a lot of fun because it was like he kept he was saying like, oh, you gotta get mean and roar, and I was like trying my best to do a mean face, and I think I got it eventually.
A lot of people jumped out of the seats with the rah at the beginning. So
yeah, she did an awesome job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of your song, Matt, when it kind of breaks into like a VHS almost, and it's a very bizarre scene, and I love it.
I had to sing that song. I had to re-sing it. That was my voice, Neal.
Oh, it was. Well, a fantastic job, Walter.
Thank you. We had to redo it again.
It's like Milli Vanilli here.
Yeah, we help each other out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a family thing.
Yeah.
We changed up the music. We got like this guy named Pablo Fu did the whole score from nothing, from scratch. And he's like, yo, we need to amp up the song. What are we gonna do with this song? So he came with like this 80s, like kind of like melodic beat. And I was like, okay, so now I have to sing it. And it was hard because I had to kind of sing it in the tempo that he's moving his mouth.
He had to match. So, we had an original song that the recording came out really bad. That's why we didn't end up using it, because the recording of the instruments, not Matt singing, but
not Matt singing.
It was the instruments were really bad recording. So that's why we had to go back. So it was a really hard. It was already edited. So Walter, we had a new song. What happened? Did I get chopped off?
Yeah, you're
Yeah, you
fine.
got chopped off.
All right. So Walter we had to make a new song, but have it match beat for beat because the scene was already edited, which was very tricky to pull off, but they ended up pulling it off somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Matt is me and I'm Matt. We did a fusion like Goku and Vegeta. Like, you know.
Are you a wrestling fan, Matt?
Yeah, I grew up with wrestling and stuff back in the 80s and stuff. I thought it was the greatest thing. I even wanted to be a wrestler when I was in my teens. But my parents did not allow it.
Oh, well, I'm glad you got to live it out a little bit later on. Then.
Oh yeah, it was fun working with the actual professionals. It was a little physical, but it was definitely fun.
Yeah.
Right. Matt would like passed out on the way home because we shot for like literally, I think we were there for what, 10, 12 hours. And because we got everything done, the beginning and wrestling scenes all one day. And Matt was just like dead.
And it
You
was
did a great job.
I have to admit, I'm not familiar with the original Plaga Zombie movies, but when I was looking into it, it was cool to see that the guy who played John West in this one was also in the original one and came back and did the role again. I have to find these movies because I need to watch them all now.
They're on YouTube. I can send you the links
they
if
are?
you want,
Okay,
or they're on Troma. They got purchased by Troma.
Oh, okay.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
And you know, it's crazy. Like it's coming like into full circle now. Like now they're going to be on Blu-ray, and it's just this opened up a can of worms. Basically, this movie, I think.
It's very cool that because sometimes I'm a kind of a grumpy old horror movie fan who looks down on all these sequels and stuff. But then I realize it does people seek out the originals and now this is in my case. I'm going to seek out the original movies.
Right.
Brian O'Toole in the chat wants to know, Gary, how much did the movie reflect on your original vision of the movie?
Like the tone, I was really worried because in the original script it was very ambitious, and the tone, I was worried that when you're playing with camp, you don't know if it's going to be taken seriously, because people take it seriously, then they think you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So it's like a fine line you got to walk. But it pretty much it's the same film. We just had to leave certain aspects out of it, because originally Ben's character, when he was in the theater singing, we were going to do like a Pied Piper type of thing, and he was going to have the zombies follow him out of the theater, and he was supposed to march downtown New Bedford, in which the city was going to close the street down for us, but they ended up finding out we didn't have insurance, so they were like, no, you guys can't do that. So
snip.
But yeah, there was a lot more scenes that went a little further than originally, but for the most part, I think it's what I envisioned from the beginning, so it's good.
And speaking of Brian, Patrick O'Toole, he is a producer and also writer of Dog Soldiers.
Oh, awesome.
And he is one of my closest friends, and we talk now. And so thank you for being on the interview.
Yeah, very cool.
Have you seen Dog Soldiers?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Dog Soldiers.
So he's the guy that's talking to us right now.
All right, very cool. I'll have to get him on the show here. Joe, who did the written review on the website, he really liked it. He's in the chat, and he says Plaga Zombies is friggin' fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
He wants to know, all the zombies seem to have great business to do. They were all individuals. How much direction did they get?
It depends on who. Like we end up using a lot of the same people to play the zombie. So like Walter, I wouldn't have to direct him too much because he's just a ham all day long. Some people, it was just kind of like you had to tell them, because when you first say action, they're walking around like a Rivero zombie, like you're like no. Think Gremlins, like you're misfit, you want to get into trouble, and that's pretty much the direction we use. We would tell them, you're a gremlin. Think Gremlin.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to add to that is like one of the parallels I see with Pirates of the Caribbean is like in Pirates of the Caribbean, a lot of the extra pirates, they actually really worked on those extra characters, and I think that that's the case with this movie, where you can see throughout the movie like at least 30 to 50 really well built extra zombies. I can think of the gay zombie, but there's so many others that are so much fun, and I think that that's one of the perks of this movie is like the attention to details to the extras.
That's what made like the original Dawn of the Dead so fun. All the zombies are very memorable, as opposed to like when they're just a big sea of almost CGI characters.
But yeah, ours got a little out of control. Sorry, Jeremy, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, like, each zombie, like it was awesome that Garry let us just use our imaginations. Like, you want to be this zombie, you want to be that zombie, just whatever comes up to your mind. Like,
right,
or like Bert and Ernie.
Whose idea? Yeah, exactly. Jeremy's like Bert and Ernie. I'm like, go ahead.
That you know what I mean? Like, I'm a ton of zombies in this movie. I'll tell you that.
Jeremy was my sidekick with Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie, like, yeah.
That was crazy. That was an insane. I killed that chick with the rubber ducky, blah, blah.
But
that was crazy.
You had your voice. Like, we would tell people, like, just come up with something, like anything. It doesn't matter. Be a zombie. Whatever you want to do it. And
Jeremy also played one of the Blues Brother with
me too. We were like a pair when we did zombies.
Jeremy was the shockwave zombie that comes out in the water.
Yeah,
I was a ton of zombies. It was
a ton of zombies. No, but you were the
I'm a big fan of the shockwave stuff. I had that written in my notes. It's very shockwave-esque at the end.
Oh, you saw the shockwave zombies?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to say about Walter, that I think he also helped other people that were new to the set. So, for example, there is a scene where this guy plays a zombie with an Argentine soccer jersey, and I think that was provided by Walter. I think that was pretty cool and a really cool idea to
just a homage
for fans in Argentina to see this guy with an Argentine jersey, and that's because of Walter. So that's very cool.
Yeah, he got shot in the head. So
yeah. I got to do what I got to do, right? Shoot him. But the thing about the water scene, since Ben was supposed to lure them into the water, that scene was filmed supposedly like that. Like the zombies coming out of the water was supposed to fall off a cliff, but we kept it in the movie as them just coming out of the water.
We shot the beach scene first. That was the first thing we shot. So in the original script, they were coming out of the water because Mandy had made them fall off a cliff. So they thought they were dead, and then they ended up coming up. And that was the reason why they were coming out of the water.
I've got to ask Libby, when you're going to show the movie in your church, are there going to be any regular churchgoers there? Say, they're showing a movie. Let's show up. It'll be nice.
They've been there.
All the church gray-haired church ladies were at the first show, and they loved it.
Oh, that's very good.
They confess after watching the movie. They all confess.
It's a confession, right?
It's a sin. And there's a sick scene where I rip a guy's genitalia off. Like we made a dick.
You want to give out everything.
Yeah.
Walter.
Yeah, well,
that's mine. Yeah.
That's mine.
That probably sold 6 tickets right there. Yeah.
And that was literally like thought of on the spot, because Jeremy showed up as I want to be a flasher.
As a streaker.
Can I flash like one of the zombies? I'm like, yeah, and he's gonna rip your junk off. And then we were like looking around, and one of the extras had a condom on her. I don't know where she got it from, but we ended up just creating it right there on the spot. We grabbed some hair off a wig and made some pubes, and there you go.
Yeah, what people don't know, and you don't see it on the film, is like Jeremy was actually naked throughout all day. So
that fear in that guy's eyes was true. That was true. And then we had Harrison Blake. Harrison Blake in himself was a character. And this guy had like a whole thing with germs. And leave it up to me, the crazy guy, to go spit blood all over this poor guy's face. But the scene came out perfectly.
Right.
The fear in his eyes were there.
Well, he showed up again the next time we.
It was pre-COVID, so spitting in his face was okay.
Yes, it was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Along those lines, though,
actually
did COVID hinder any you getting the movie out there or anything?
Yeah, we kind of sat on it for a while because we didn't want to, we wanted to get everyone in the theater and watch it with everyone. We didn't want to do like an online. We did all that work and then have it just on an online screening. We wanted to have actual people and seeing their reactions and stuff. So.
And again, not just because you guys are here and you guys are having the screening on the 4th. The whole time I was watching, I could imagine how much fun it would be to watch with people.
Yeah,
is this the kind of movie everyone's going to be enjoying and laughing, and you just enjoy the experience with everybody.
You should have heard the church ladies. They were which was funny because it's like, they actually got the jokes and they were laughing at it, so it was really cool. So.
Yeah. As a spectator, my favorite guys is Manny and Sam's like dynamic.
Yeah, they have a lot of chemistry together.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's very funny to watch them.
Yeah,
I hate watching myself, but watching them is fun.
How about working together, Matt? You and Ben together. Could you tell this was fun?
Well, working with Ben was incredible. He always kept things in a lively mood and everything. Sometimes you had to prod him to get the right scene, but otherwise I couldn't complain. I mean, things flowed out of us so easily.
Yeah, I think we had what you call screen chemistry. And I still to this day I try to look at Matt at somebody who I admire, and I think that's the way I try to play Manny, because Manny admires Sam, and that was my approach. And every time we were talking off camera or on camera, I will look at Matt with that kind of admiration, and I think that at least helped our relationship off camera as well. So.
Amber, did you get those?
Seeing those two guys work together was like awesome. You know what I mean? Like the chemistry that they had between each other is like amazing. Like I can't tell you how proud I am to be involved in this whole thing. Like, and to see the way that they work together is just awesome. Awesome.
Thank you, man.
Amber, were you at the screening with an audience?
I was. It was. I actually walked in late, and it was so dark that I couldn't see, and I'm like stumbling to try to sit down. But once I finally got sat down, it was really cool just hearing everybody's reactions to it.
Did you miss your scene, right? You missed.
No,
your
I
scene,
just
right?
made it for my scene.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, then she left. No. Are the zombies, because I'm not familiar with the original movies, are the zombies very colorful in those?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you would watch all 4, do they all go in order? Like, I mean, do they feel like these are all in the same world?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. We definitely made it connect, like, as in all like main characters from the originals make a cameo in this. So as you're saying, John West is in it. Max Giggs is in it. He's one of the main characters, and also the
Bill Johnson.
Bill Johnson, which is Pablo Perez. He's the one that was in the newscast on TV. So each of them played a role. And actually, the rest of the gang too made a cameo, because the guy singing on the TV, Walter Carnat, not Walter.
No,
Paulo. He's
Soria.
And then the one on the skateboarder is Walter Carnas. So we got all cameos. All the original cast from the original Plaga Zombies all played cameos in this one. So
yeah. All the commercials and fake TV shows are great that are playing.
Yeah.
Thanks. Jeremy was in one of them. He played the the Harrison
Dr.
Blake
Marty
story.
Brown, right? Marty Brown was it?
Right. Yeah.
Reminds me of watching Local Access. I don't know if Local Access even exists anymore, but
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
back before when there was only 4 channels or whatever. You know.
right. Channel 95.
Yeah.
And the director of the original one is credited as like guest director. So how did that work?
Yeah, it was Pablo and Hernan. They both the scenes that they shot in Argentina.
With Cobra,
They would direct those scenes. With Walter would go down as Cobra, and they directed those scenes.
Yeah. What did they think of the finished movie?
They all seem to love it. So I was, very pleased to hear that from them, because that was one of my biggest worries. It was like, am I doing it justice? Are they gonna, not just the fans, but I really wanted to please them. So it seems like they're very happy with it. So.
The beautiful thing about this is that we were not supposed to be a part 4. This was just supposed to be like a standalone film, and then all of a sudden they thought it was so relevant and so good that they're like, it's no longer a trilogy; it's a part 4.
Well, so that's on you guys. That's the magic you guys.
All of us.
All of us. That's all of us.
Nah, that's you guys.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. No, what I wanted to add to that is like, to me, those guys are like the 3 original Star Wars movies, and we are sort of in episode 1. So having them in our movie is such an honor, because, to me, it's like, oh my God, we have them on our movie. And I think that, you feel part of the same family in a way, so, I can die now and I'll be happy because I'm part of the family.
Well,
so.
hopefully you live a little bit longer.
Yeah, nobody. We're not gonna ruin the end, but we don't know.
Right.
Pablo Perez here in the chat says we need the sequel. So will there be a part 5?
He's the director of the original. Say hi.
I don't know, Matt. Are you up for donning the wig?
No more wig. No more wig.
We'll shave your head. You could use my hair.
Like Stone Cold, yeah.
I'll do the shaved head.
We'll shave your head. We'll go into a barbershop. We escaped to a barbershop. Shave his head.
Yeah, we will. We all love to obviously finish the story. So that's what we would all love to do. But right now we need a break and work on something else, and then we'll see if we're gonna revisit this. So Matt, start doing your push-ups. All right, you're ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Get in the training.
Back to the gym.
That's right.
It was big. I mean, it's big. Like, we got so many locations. Like, I had to drive a boat. I didn't know how to drive a boat. Gary's like, get on a boat. You're gonna drive. I'm like, I've never drove. I don't know how to drive. It's like, I don't care. Get on the boat. Like, we got so many like locations that you would have to spend so much money.
In that scene too, while he's riding the boat, me and Scott on this tiny little dinky with a troll motor in the middle of the ocean.
It's crazy.
Scott, what did you think of the finished film the first time you saw it?
Unfortunately, it wasn't until we had the premiere that I got to see the entire film. I had seen, pieces and parts and what he was working on here and there, but I never saw the whole entire thing. I was shocked. I didn't expect it to be so fine-tuned and finished and professional as the total outcome was. I was like, wow, this is like a real freaking movie. I was slapping paint on people and pointing and cutting up clothes and making people look like zombies and doing all kind of work. But the fine-tuning that he did in the post that brought it all together was amazing. I had no idea it was going to be so polished. I was kind of flawed. I was in awe.
It's beautifully filmed. Gary has like.
Nice. The funny thing is, like Scott mentioned, it was like, looking from the outside at us, people must have thought we were crazy, So I think we even had, I'm not going to mention names, but somebody had made a comment on Facebook, like, these guys don't know what they're doing. They're like running around with their, like a chicken with a head cut off. And I was like, well, they don't know what I'm seeing behind that lens. You know what I mean? So that's all that mattered to me, is what I was capturing and what we were creating. So
that's why it's important to say that the people that did stick around, like, we had a lot of people walk out on us, like, gave up on us and stuff. And the people that did stick around, like, it wouldn't have been done if it weren't for these people like Libby, Scott, Jeremy, all these people that were behind the scenes that you don't see in front of the screen, but you see them doing all this stuff behind the scene. And other people just gave up on us and were like, yo, what the fuck now? And like, you watch the movie now and you're like, you know what? Fuck you. And guess what? Fuck you, Kenny Dowell, for your review.
Oh, I don't know who he is.
Kenny Dowell. I had to say that.
I agree with you. If he gave it a bad review, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he did. He's a fucking asshole. We've been ripping him apart on Instagram for like 3 weeks.
Well, that's what I was telling Walter. Get ready, because not everyone's going to get the humor behind it, So especially in a movie like this, some people just will take it, as a serious film and not find the fun and the humor behind it, So.
Well, I liked the review from last night because he basically got it. He understood the movie. Like, it's a homage what we did. It's nobody stole from anybody. Like he put together like the fact that Snake Plissken or Cobra Guevara was on an island that's being destroyed or separated from the actual United States, which was happened in Escape from New York. I didn't think about that until I read the review. So thank you, Diablo.
Yeah.
Diablo.
Joe Diablo here, yeah.
Joe Diablo.
So he's hoping to make it too. He lives up in Boston.
That would be awesome.
Cool.
I hope we can.
So Jeremy, you did so much on the movie. What was it like to watch it with an audience?
Oh man, I'll tell you, it's amazing. It was absolutely amazing to see like all the hard work we did. Like, man, I can't even tell you how much like time was put in, like work here, work there, and this, that, like so much. We all did so much, and it's amazing. I love these guys. Absolutely love these guys, and the differences we have, whatever. But man, so proud of this thing. I'm so proud of it.
Right. Yeah.
I also want to let everyone too. If you go to the show on the 4th, you're going to see some cool shorts from the guys from It Came from the 508. Who they make some really disturbing stuff. It's really good stuff.
They're going to be showing 3 films too. So
I thought James was supposed to come into the chat. I don't know what happened. Oh, he sent me a message.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be watching 3 of their films.
Passed out when he got home from work. So.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, if you've not seen them before, their stuff's great.
Yeah. So that's why we kind of we thought it'd be a great idea to have them included and just make it one fun night and support the local arts and have everyone come down and not only
there's
watch
a lot of cool people in the New England area who make a lot of fun horror stuff, and their stuff's a lot different. It's more your stuff's was more fun, and their stuff's a little more serious. A little darker. Well, both your guys' stuff's strange too, but yeah.
I think it's a very, I said like an action movie. It's like very. It doesn't stop. It's like constant. Like it's not like I say, it's not a typical zombie movie. So.
No, definitely not. Yeah, and I have to say too, I love the poster art. Who did the artwork?
That would be Strike Moltolman and Pablo Pares, the director again. They did all that.
Looks like a classic old 70s zombie poster. It's great.
Did a beautiful job.
Yeah.
It's a very classic look. It's awesome.
I don't know if it is or not, but it should be on shirts or something.
I have one of the shirts, but it's just the logo.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Or a tattoo, or a big tattoo on somebody's back.
Well, all right, Ben. You're up first.
You're going to you can get the Cobra tattoo. I'll get the Manny tattoo. Matt can get the Nash one, and then Gary. Someone's got to get a Gary tattoo. Amber, Gary tattoo. And
yeah, that's so.
He seemed totally into it.
Yeah. Explain that one to your boyfriend.
Why is Gary's face on your back?
I don't think you care.
No, but it's definitely like a movie that you can actually watch on a Saturday night, and pound a couple of beers and pop the popcorn, as my brother Gary would say.
It's really just like it's an everything movie. It's comedy, it's horror, it's sci-fi, it's western, it's everything. It's everything all encompassed into one movie. It's so awesome.
You got a love story too. You got this guy Nash
love story. Love story. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a love story.
So if you obviously you should make it to on the 4th, but if you live in another part of the country or in another country, how could people see Plaga Zombie American Invasion?
We're thinking we may be doing like a Vimeo screening at some point, but it's going to be playing in Argentina in December at Bars Film Festival. So that's a great honor, and that'll be a good way for people in Argentina to see it and check it out. Also, I am talking with an agent right now about distribution rights for foreign markets. So hopefully it will be getting out there soon. So
we're going to be famous in Japan.
Yeah.
Matt, you're going to be famous in Japan. You're going to be a doll in Japan. You're going to, you're going to be talking Japanese.
They're going to want to see you against the Great Muda.
Right?
Tokyo Dome.
Yeah. There's actually a Japanese Argentine channel on YouTube. It's called Japatonic TV. So I bet those guys will love this movie. So
interesting. Very cool. All right. So where can people follow Plaga Zombie to see all the news?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but I don't think anybody uses it.
Yeah, I don't think we use Twitter nowadays. No. But basically Plaga Zombie 4.4 would be the Instagram, and then we have the Psycon page on Facebook and the Plaga Zombie page, American Invasion.
Yep.
So,
Brian O'Toole asked one last question here. It's a very good one, I think. We'll run through everybody. Does anyone have a wonderful or humorous memory from making Plaga Zombie? We'll start with Jeremy up here in the left.
Jeremy.
Yeah, I was like my second time being a zombie, and I did some kind of like
what was
crazy
the first one?
Hello?
Oh, I see. Second time in the movie.
Yeah.
I thought about this movie was your second time. I was confused. But
no, it was second time being a zombie in the movie, and I did some weird move like and I hobbled this way, and Gary was like, "Really? That's what you're doing?" I was like, "I don't know. You tell me what you want me to do." And he's like, "Yeah, not that."
Walter, do you have a memory, a humorous memory or a wonderful memory?
Oh God, I think the gay zombie was my most humorous. Like I embraced. Well, basically, I screwed up on my beard. I was doing a Cobra scene, and I messed up on the beard. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave the mustache. Give me a crazy Rod Stewart looking wig. And then I'm doing my thing. That wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. Like it was like Gary. What Gary did was let everybody do their own thing under his supervision. But like if you had like some certain, but that made me laugh. Like doing that and the Bert and Ernie. We had one take to do that because it was raining, and we got all dressed up, and it was raining. We're like, fuck, we can't get the shot, and we stuck it out. And Gary's like, we'll wait. And we got it done. And when I see that scene and that wig is flying up and down and it doesn't come off, I'm Bert. No, I'm Ernie, and he's been Jeremy's Bert. I'm cracking up still. And that's me watching me. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of moments. It's hard to pinpoint, an actual moment.
Yeah,
we did so much, but those were like my favorites. Actually, playing zombies was more fun for me than playing, Cobra, which is more serious for me because I had to concentrate. When I was a zombie, I didn't give a shit. I was like, let me just fucking, do my thing. So it was more fun.
Libby, do you have a memory that stands out?
I do. It was an early Sunday morning, and we were downtown New Bedford, and I was a zombie, and I was ripping a guy's arm off. And this lady drives by and opens her window and asks if she wanted me to call 911. We were lucky the cops didn't show up for that one.
Crazy.
That's great. Matt.
I think the funniest thing that happened to me happened off set. We got done filming one of the beach scenes. It was a long day, and I went to my girlfriend's house to clean up. Nothing thinking of it. I just pulled my wig off, and I was just walking to her apartment. 2 days later, she gets a knock on the door. It's the police. He's looking into a report of a person with a severed head. My girlfriend is looking at the officer. I come out from the other side, out of the other room. And I was like, that was me. I was coming from a film shoot and all that. And the cop was like totally bewildered. He goes, a severed head. I was like, it was a wig. I was carrying the wig.
Yeah.
It's so funny that one of the neighbors saw me and called the cops.
Scott, do you have a memory that stands out?
Well, you know the term blood, sweat, and tears. It was, we were at the church. I don't remember which scene we were shooting. And I was sitting on a bench outside the front door, prepping all the zombies to go in for the scene. So if you walked up and you weren't up to my level of zombiness, I would take your clothes off of you and start slicing them up and hacking them up. And I'm sitting on this bench with someone's clothes in my hand, and I'm hacking away with a small razor knife, shredding the clothing. And someone says something to me, and they get my attention away from what I'm doing, and I'm responding to their question, and I reach down to cut the clothes, and I cut through my finger.
Oh, geez.
With the
Real
razor
blood
knife.
in our movie. Real blood.
So there's like half a dozen zombies that had actual blood on them that day because I hacked right into my finger, and I can still feel that blade hitting my finger right now. But every time I think about it.
All right.
Gary,
at least
tell
it
me
was
about
just
the
blood.
watermelon.
Someone didn't have an actual finger on. What
All
was
right,
that? A watermelon?
Just a blood.
Yeah.
There
The
was
watermelon.
the scene where the zombie gets hit by the
yeah.
van and the head flies off. Originally, it shows the head fly off and it hits the street. But in the original scene, the head was supposed to hit the windshield. So we had filled up a melon, and right before we shot the scene, someone was going to throw the melon with the wig at the windshield. And as soon as they handed me the melon, I felt it, and it was like a good, I'd have to say like almost 6-7 pounds. And I was like, dude, you can't throw this at the goddamn windshield. It's going to smash it, And they're like, no, I worked so hard on it. It's got all this goo and stuff inside of it. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we're driving, and all of a sudden, here comes the melon. And it just hits the windshield. The windshield shatters and like explodes. There's glass all over the place. And I end up telling the insurance company I hit a turkey on the highway. So
Flying turkey.
It was wow.
Ben, do you have a memory that stands out?
Yeah, so I had two references to two Argentine comedians in the movie, which are Olmedo and Franchella. But what it was, I'm gonna leave that for people watching the movie to find them. But the one that was so funny to me was one day we were shooting outside the church, and I had to cut this guy Denny, which is one of my best friends. Denny, I love you. And I have to cut him open and pull his guts out of his back. And we had to synchronize the action between me doing this and him reacting. And it was so funny to me because we had such a hard time coordinating that I was crying. I was actually crying because I had so much. We couldn't coordinate. It was so funny to me, and it was funny for both of us. And I always remember him reacting like a little too late or a little too soon. So that was kind of my funny memory.
Amber, do you have a memory that stands out?
It always amuses me like how long makeup can take compared to how much you actually end up shooting. And it's just kind of like funny how much like probably like an hour of makeup for 5 minutes of shooting.
Right. Yeah.
Gary, besides the watermelon, do you have a memory that stands out?
Yeah, there was one day we were shooting for like probably 14 hours, a big one of the big horde scenes. And we were shooting with Matt all day, and he had the whole get up on, and I was so exhausted when I was driving him home. He took the wig off, but I didn't see him take the wig off. So I was driving. I was so used to seeing him with that damn wig on. when I turned to talk to him, I thought it was like a different person, and I like jumped, scared the shit out of me because I thought there was another guy sitting beside me.
Who the fuck is that?
That's awesome.
Surprise!
Well, I
and
love the movie. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
No, I just wanted to do a shout out for Denny and his band Devious Intentions, who provided the music for the movie, like the actual
nice.
song at the end of the movie. And we also had another band called the Commando X that did like the ending, which sounds like the Psycho, but you'll watch the ending and you'll understand what I'm saying. They also provided music, so thanks to the musicians as well that were a part of this. And
seek them
Danny
out.
and
Give
Michelle.
them check out their music. What were you gonna say, Ben?
No, I was just giving a shout out to Danny and Michelle, they're both great friends of mine, and thank you for all your help. They've been always great. They showed up multiple times playing zombies, and people you can count on.
Great people.
So great people.
A lot of people in the chat room, and they're all talking about liking the movie, so that's very cool. And I hope people check it out. I loved it, and it was very cool to talk to all of you.
Thank you very much.
It was
for
our
having us.
pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Neal.
Thank you.
And we'll do it again for the next one.
Oh,
Whatever movie
Yes,
we're gonna make, next one.
definitely.
Yeah. As long as it's a horror related. Yeah.
Oh, we have an idea, Gary.
Huh.
We have an idea. We're not gonna tell it though. We have an idea. We have an idea.
All right. Well, I'm curious. So anyway, it was good talking to everybody, and I'll see you all some other time.
Have a good
Thank
one,
you.
everyone.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Good night.
Ciao.
Like a zombie, rock on.
Awkwardly hit end as I wait.